forum. It's a delight that we could have such an audience together to share with you what the existing and ongoing challenges are at our beloved institution, TMRC. And we are delighted that our president and CEO is here, along with his leadership team, management team, to share with us, the broader community, where we are, the challenges, and to also share with you that we have some excellent traction going forward. So I trust that you will engage and that this will not be a monologue, but it will be of such where you will ask questions, and I can assure you Charles and the team will provide you with quality answers. Let us pray. We bless your name, O God, for this day, but more particularly for this season as we move forward, that good and quality and meaningful decisions will be made in his name. Amen.
You know, this is a very serious topic. You know, when this came out, so many people asked the question, well, what are you going to do? How do you want to address it? It was in different news outlets. We had cameras, we had different stations that would call us. We said, we're going to talk about it. We're going to be open and we're going to be honest. For those of you that spend time at the hospital, you know, we have a saying. There are 3 must-haves at RMC. Trust, operating in a manner that drives sustainability, and always focusing on the community. That's important. And if you want to establish trust, you can't hide. You can't say we're not going to talk about it. You have to talk about it. Because talking about it is what fixes things. That's how we begin to work together. And I think each and every one of us in this room know that RMC is an important part of this community. And because of that, we just can't turn a blind eye and just be quiet about it. Now, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about who we are. You know, we talk about our mission, to deliver high quality, compassionate care to everyone we touch every day. But what I really want to focus on was the vision. Given what we're talking about today, we have a vision that says to provide nationally recognized health care to everyone with compassion, quality, service, and efficiency. Nationally recognized. And I thought about it, I said, wow, for a topic like today, how do we deal with that as a vision? And I happened to be somewhere a few weeks ago, and I thought about, that's a good vision. Because there's a difference in sight and vision. Sight is what we see right now, or what we've gone through. Vision is what we believe is capable, what can happen. And I don't think there are many folks in this audience that are working hard every day. I see some of our physicians here, see some of our staff here. But I believe with what we are putting together, we have the ability to operate and deliver that nationally recognized care. That is so important. But before we jump into that, we want to talk about who are we? 286-bed facility. A big part of this community. A payroll of $133 million a year with benefits. Think about how important the success of this organization is to the Orangeburg, Calhoun, and Bamberg and Warrenwell community. You divide that out, that is roughly $3.5 to $4 million in payroll every 2 weeks. That is an economic engine that is spent in many of our stores, our restaurants, our car dealerships, put into plates in our churches, paying DPU and others so that this community is successful. How are we organized? For those of you who don't know, we are owned by Orangeburg and Calhoun County. 86% by Orangeburg, 14% by Calhoun County. We have 17 board members, 12 of them appointed by Orangeburg, 3 by Calhoun, and 2 from the medical staff. It is so important that 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, that RMC is strong and thriving for the children, for the young adults, and generations to come.
So my name is Mickey Wissenhunt. I am the Interim Director of Quality and Medical Staff Services at RMC. And as Mr. Williams stated, we wanted to share with you that not only does Leapfrog evaluate our organization, but so many other organizations look at our performance at quality and patient safety. The Blue Cross Blue Shield Blue Distinction Award. So what they're looking at here is our performance over time in maternity care, and our unit was recognized. So we not only had quality achievements in those categories, but we have the Plus Award, meaning our care was also cost effective. South Carolina Hospital Association, in 2017, we received 3 Zero Harm Awards. First being no surgical site infections for our abdominal hysterectomies. Second, no surgical site infections for our total knee joint replacement program. And our third category was no central line infections in our intensive care unit. Also, Joint Commission on a regular basis evaluates patient safety at our organization. And we've been surveyed by them for many, many years. And in 2018, they evaluated our hospital, our home care agency, our lab, as well as our stroke program. And all those programs remain fully accredited. So we're doing great things in those areas. Get With the Guidelines program. So Get With the Guidelines, you'll see we have 2 gold awards for stroke and congestive heart failure, and a silver award for resuscitation. So the gold award means that we had 24 months of performance in those quality areas, and the silver means 12 consecutive months of performance. So let's talk a little bit about the hospital Leapfrog survey, because it is different than the safety grade that you're given. And it is a voluntary survey that you choose to participate in, and we did for the first time in the fall. So the survey was first given in 2001 to 200 hospitals, and there were 3 focus areas at that time. They were looking at whether the hospital had a computerized physician order entry system, so were our doctors able to enter orders for patient care electronically. They also looked at whether your intensive care units were staffed with an intensivist, which is a physician who's specially trained in critical care medicine. And they also looked at whether the hospital had enough surgical volume to safely perform certain high-risk procedures. Now, I'll tell you, since 2001, the survey has grown by leaps and bounds, and you'll see that they have those 28 categories that they score you on currently. So who participates in the survey? They expect that over 2,000 hospitals will participate by December 31st of 2018. So for the last completed year, which was 2017, they had 1,941 hospitals participate, which is over 52% of eligible hospitals. And then we also want to look at medication reconciliation audits. So our pharmacist meets with a patient and reviews the medications they were on at home. And then at discharge, they make sure that the home medications, the medications that were given in the hospital, are reviewed with the patients to make sure they understand what they take after discharge. It's about pediatric care. Now, our pediatric volume for inpatients is very low. So most of the questions on the survey we aren't eligible to answer. However, we do send data related to CT radiation. We have machines that is able to calculate the dose of radiation for our pediatric patients. So we monitor that to make sure it's appropriate. So questions about Leapfrog scoring and survey?
I have a question. How does the Leapfrog survey rank among surveys that are conducted at hospitals? Is it the gold standard? Is it one of 22? Give me some context for this particular program.
There's really not a ranking. The reason why Leapfrog is getting so much attention is it was funded by the big employers and the big payers, the insurance companies and your Fortune 500 companies. And basically their goal was, we want to find a way to save on our healthcare costs. So they're getting the national news, they're getting the national media. But I think what you really should focus on, in my opinion, not to take anything from Leapfrog, is Joint Commission. Joint Commission is the deemed status organization that CMS says you and DMV and others, you go ensure that safe care is being provided. Yes.
My question, how can the community help?
You know,
I'm Dolores Strange, and I'd like to know, how can the community help? and what do we need to do in order to help remedy this situation?
And earlier in the presentation, I talked about who RMC is, because we are such a big part of this community. But something happened after I'd been here about 2 months that really blew me away. We made some changes at the organization, and there was a Facebook frenzy like I had never seen, of people bashing the organization. Think about what happens if RMC is not successful to this community. I had the opportunity to spend an hour and a half in our sterile processing unit today, working with the staff, taking all the equipment through, understanding how we process all of the forceps and scissors and cutters, all the different things. And they said, "Sir, what can we do to make a change?" I said, "Hold your buddies accountable. If you want to see a change on a football team, the coach doesn't have to get on the player that's not doing his job. His teammates will get on him. That's what we have to do. Begin to support our organization. And if there's something that's wrong, report it in a way to the people who can make a change. Don't slap it on Facebook. Don't put it on Twitter. Because guess what? Twitter ain't going to help you. Twitter's not going to see one patient. Twitter's not going to make one change. That's how we can do it.
I'm Janie Cooper Smith, and I would like to commend you and your staff for presenting this forum tonight, because the stigma of the hospital has been bad for years. And I am beginning to see a change since your presence. Thank you for this forum. You've given me a sense of knowledge of knowing that you can't always believe what you read. You have to come and see for yourself. And I think many of us will leave with a different feeling of what that rating means than we had before we got here tonight.
Your presence here in the hospital and in this community has made a big difference. Your ambassadorship has made a difference, because when you got here, you visited every single portion of our community. And I want to applaud, of course, Kathy Rose, for touring you and for your openness and your transparency in getting out to the local community, which is really unprecedented. You came here and you visited each and every enclave, all the way out to Branchville and everywhere else, so that they would know you and know what the hospital is representing. This is our hospital. This is where we have to be. As Janie Cooper and Councilwoman Frazier said, we have to depend on this hospital. We're a family. What I said to Carol today is we all have to be ambassadors for this hospital. We all have to say good things continually about the good services and the good things that happen at RMC. It's our responsibility. We're a family. We have to protect your family and protect the services that are being provided for your family.
Thank you for the compliments. But one of the things I said to the board in my interview, this is not about me. I appreciate it, but this is a service. You know, I look around, I see amazing staff that I get a chance to serve. You know, I've had an opportunity to talk to several of our physicians, our OBGYNs, and we talked about this number. And the test may say, you know, we really want you to have a cesarean section rate less than 23. But I want you to ask yourselves a question if you have a child. The main objective is that mama and baby are safe. All I'm asking is for each of us to think about why we entered this profession. To care for people. It's not about what you get out of it. It's not about what you take home. Unfortunately, across this land in many hospitals, somebody's sick. They don't know if they're going to see tomorrow. In homes across America, there are husbands, and wives, mothers and fathers who have walked into their home for the first time in years as a widow or a widower. motherless or fatherless. This is not just a wage-earning profession. This is a cause. It happened, things have happened. I'm asking that we pull together, learn from the past, build on the present, and grow in the future. That's all I'm asking. It's not about me. It's not about the board. It's not about the council. It's not about a doctor. It's about the community. That's all I want to do. It's